Yo, 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 and away we go. Oh my God, we got a good Wednesday night lineup here for you. Time for the AEW Sidecast. Welcome, everybody. Mike the Ref here. We are 10 minutes away from Grand Slam at Arthur Ashe Stadium, which I'm very happy to see that they actually got quite a few tickets sold here in the last few days. AEW has been running into a problem lately with a lot of the ticket sales, and I can think of why. A few reasons here. But before we continue there, just a reminder, I do have a quick poll in the chat. It'll be up for another minute or so here. So feel free to chime in. What match are you looking most forward to tonight as part of AEW Grand Slam? But yeah, ticket sales right now. Tony Khan's been... Whoa!
But I'm better than you. And you know it!
All right, we're coming in hot into the stream. Here's Zodiac, 19 months. Yo! How you doing, my friend? How is everything going? Hope everything's going well with the podcast. Things are going smooth. I got to admit, folks, today's my first day off. First day off of my holidays. I'm going back to work in October, so I guess we call that a win. Thank you for the resub. I do appreciate it. Once again, I appreciate everybody here who, whether you're subbing, whether you're watching, lurking in the background, active in the chat, whichever way works. It's good to see you all. It's good to see you guys all every week. And you're going to see a lot of me here in the next couple weeks here because, like I said, I'm on holidays now until October 2nd. And almost every day I do plan on doing something on Twitch. It'll be all over the place. I think tomorrow, unless I get a hell of a lot of work done, tomorrow I'm going to get into NBA 2K24. Going to start getting into my team and whatnot. We just picked that up last week, so we're going to get a few days of that in there. Oh, okay. Poll is done. Results are in. MJF and Samoa Joe and Jericho and Guerrero tied for most anticipated match for tonight. I am going to throw that poll back up again as we get going early in the night here after we get our first predictions out of the way here. But, yeah, just a heads up, we are going to be doing that. We are also going to be doing Zelda. I spent most of my afternoon today. I spent 2 hours, don't read lips too much, bowling in the snow with a bunch of wooden pins. So, yeah, that was my afternoon today. So, makeshift. Yes, I guess I do have to notice this. Saturnian World Order for life. I did get the long-sleeved one, so forgive me that I haven't been able to wear it the last couple weeks. All I need is a console and Ultimate MK3. Yeah, it would be a lot of fun to... You know what? I might just throw that up on Fightcade one night, and we might just play it. Yeah, pray Saturn, pray Saturn, pray Saturn, pray Saturn. I do need to get a voiceover for that so we could add it as a hot button here. By the way, all the subscribers, if you are interested, and since I'm going all over the place here, we actually haven't got to the wrestling yet. If you want your own walk-on music for this, for a sound, last week we tried it, didn't work. I figured out what has to happen here. If any of you subscribers are interested in getting your own music or your own sound bite for when you walk into the stream, head down to the panel below with the blurb sounds. If you find one you like, there's a couple footprints on it on the bottom there. Just click on those. Then I have to approve it, of course, in the back end. But then next time when you come in, you should be able to put exclamation point walk on and have your own sound come in as you walk into the stream so proudly. Custom made. Little things I'm working on here, trying to make the stream better. If all goes well, you should have a hammer. If you have curses on the screen, you should have a hammer to hit me in the head on with. But yeah, tonight's card. I have to say this. I come on stream here tonight. This has been 2 weeks in a row where we really haven't had any real drama for AEW outside of the AEW ecosphere. Like, the biggest news that we have outside of the ring is the Jade Cargill departure and signing with WWE, which somebody signed with another company. Everybody's got it right. I want to focus on who's here. I hope she does well in the Fed. I hope everybody here does just as well. So I would love to see everybody move into every different promotion and learn a little bit more to become a well-rounded wrestler all over the world. You see it all the time with New Japan moving over to the States, having their excursions. Some go to England, some go to Mexico, some go... Hell, we even got a few that go into Canada. So it's a good thing to happen here. But looking overall in the card tonight, I didn't vote in the poll, but I honestly believe the biggest thing for me, we're probably going to get the most excitement out of the Claudio and Eddie Kingston match. But it's going to be fun to see where they go with Samoa Joe and MJF. Do they let MJF squeak out a win and then Joe go nuts and send Max to the hospital? Or do they actually do the title change? And then you have your ROH TV champion and your AEW champion is the same person. That's the only thing that gets me a little worried about how they want to do this here. So, once again, Darth Vader, good to see you here. Praise Saturn, praise Saturn, praise Saturn, praise Saturn. And good to see everybody here. By the way, if you guys are interested in this shirt, Saturnian World Order, rememberthegamepodcast.com. It is on their merch site. So, yeah, and in terms of Saraya and Toni Storm, I could see it staying on Saraya. I could also see it switching over to Toni Storm either way. Praise to be Saturn. Praise be to Saturn. Yeah, good. I like the nice little turn to it. Everybody's just flying in here tonight. That's when you can tell that this is a well-booked show. When we have our sidecast here, and people usually show up about 5 after, 10 after the show starts. No big deal. You know, people just rolling in as it goes. Everybody, there's roll call going in the chat right now prior to us even start. Think MJF wins with interference from the Kingdom so Strong can try to be the one? That could be as well. They have, on Saturday night, I do believe the Kingdom stood up and said that they want to be the team that takes out MJF and Adam Cole for the tag titles. It was either Rampage or Collision. I'm too cheap to get a TSM Plus right now, so... So I'm not 100% sure how that'll go. Sorry, I got to get the channel changed over because I was watching the Blue Jays drive the manager of the Yankees nuts and get him tossed within the first 2 innings of the game, which is always great. But I think that might actually be very smart. The title screen for AEW Plus just shows Mox versus Phoenix. Not sure what that means. That very well might be the first. It could just mean it's the first match included on the card, too. Because normally your international title match will be the one that opens the show, right? That's what happened most of the time with Orange Cassidy. Either he mained or he opened the show. So makes sense that they would actually put that as the main screen there. Because if you're waiting for it to start, that's the first thing you're going to see, right? Oh God. Oh, HBO Max. Oh yeah. That's not a rumor. They are. Let me put it to you this way, folks. I expect by the time that AEW Revolution comes around in March, that we're going to be getting it on a streaming service rather than just Fight TV. And if that's the case, I hope that HBO Max gets to Canada in a version of Crave or something. Because I think that's where most of the HBO Max shows go to in Canada. So if they could actually include that as part of it, I will definitely be changing my cable package. And yes, I'm still old-fashioned. I have cable. Ever since I had TELUS as a sponsor here. I don't know if I still am sponsored with them. I never said no, but I never really continued on here that much. So no pyro tonight. There's that pyro. Is it possible that it's ready for Full Gear? No, here's my prediction, Darth. And this would make a lot of sense. LA Forum, all the Warner Brothers execs are there. They make the announcement that that AEW will be moving on to their streaming service. I could see them announcing it at the Forum in LA. Ha! Really? Claudio's bringing out the Ribera jacket. So they are doing... Wow. All right, let me get this out here, guys. Predictions. And once again, we are going to do the four-way. And I'm going to throw a little wrinkle if I can get a fifth one in here. But once again, everybody that's popping in late, I do appreciate having you here. And with all due respect, guys, I will keep the no contest out of this. I was thinking about it. That's the special condition I was going to have. But the predictions are up. You got 10 minutes on this one because I got a feeling this is not going to be a quick one. Claudio's been the only ROH World Champ since the ROH revamp. No, my friend. The man that he defeated was the first person to have the, Mr. Jericho. If you don't remember, it was the cheesiest title change that we've had in many a year, where Jericho tapped out with Jericho tapped out in the swing. You could just imagine what's going through Eddie Kingston right now. He's opening up title for title, the biggest feud that he's had in the last decade. In front of 11,000 people at home. Like, if you didn't know that they did set up for about 11,000 for this, so... Claudio sucks eggs. Kingston's a bum. And I can't read the one sign that's so compressed on the bottom. A lot of Eddie Kingston signs in support here tonight. It's pretty amazing on what's going on here. So, how many of you in the chat know about the history between these two? Like, I know they've shown a couple vignettes. I haven't been able to watch Chikara as much as I'd like to. But basically it comes down to somebody wouldn't do business, right? Like, when Claudio signed with the Fed, he basically just left. And typically, when you're a champion, you're pretty high up, or you have a big feud, you finish the feud before you get into before you get back into your regular, before you move on, right? Wow. Tasner 6-7, yeah. I want to give AEW credit for the fact that they are starting to learn from some of their mistakes from before. That they are actually deciding that they got to do a little bit more explaining on some of the scenarios that are coming on. Like, hell, even what they're doing with Toni Storm in those interviews with RJ City. To me, that's helping explain a lot as well. Jesus. Jake Hager, eat your heart out on that one. But yeah, I could just imagine how much Claudio is not liked in this old city, town, village. No, he was going with the Ricola bomb there. Oh, Jesus. I don't think Claudio expected to get slapped that hard. Claudio is so strong. Like, some of the stuff that he's done, and it's amazing. When you're watching Claudio a fair bit in the ring, and you're watching these little kids go out and do their dives and whatnot, the fact that Claudio is so strong has actually saved more than one youngster from really hurting themselves. He hit the top of the head. That was awesome. Oh, God. Wow. So now we're trying to show off a busted hand by Eddie. Now his back's hurting. Claudio's knee's hurting. They're telling some stories here, folks. Looks like AEW hasn't changed their setup. When the ramp comes up to the ring, there's still that gap. I don't know if you could really change it a whole lot, really. I don't think it's a gap, really. I think it's more the fact that it's not elevated to the exact same height. And the only way you could physically change it is like to put like a flap there to hold it in place. And you really can't do that to you can't realistically do that, because if the ring bounces at all or there's a dramatic turn, that flap is going to flap up. And I would think a piece of metal going like this would be a little bit more dangerous than a gap that they had there. Like, I get it, what happened with Danielson, and he got trapped in there, and it was very unfortunate, but the thing they could put... Was it Danielson that slipped and his leg fell in it? It was just a weird coincidence of time where the ring shifted and he fell in, right? Here's the thing, Darth Mick, and I know what you're talking about here. Between the stove and the countertops, like a little piece of plastic there. Is it going to have the traction that they need? Like, I get it. There's a million different things you can do to fix it. But at the... Oh, God. We're supposed to get picture-in-picture, and we're not. If you guys are watching the show live, or in a picture-in-picture international thing, good on you. I'm getting a commercial for tuna and olive oil right now.
You idiot.
But yeah, this in terms of things they could do to prop up the ring in a situation like that, with the fact that it shifts too much. I mean, tuna and olive oil. Yeah, well, you know, tuna and olive oil is important stuff too. But yeah, it's even when you go back to the old WCW days and whatnot, the biggest problem with the ring is the fact the rings aren't as tight as they used to be. Because if they're tight, they're not going to move as much. But with the extra bounce and the extra give that some of these rings give, like I know, for example, just locally here, we have a local wrestling organization, PWA, used to be booked by Lance Storm. So there was a couple times that the ring in Calgary was actually one of the old WWE rings. And you could tell the difference on how stiff that ring was compared to what an indie ring is. It's a lot less forgiving. And when it's a lot less forgiving, there's a lot less movement involved. I got a feeling the AEW ring is a little bit more... Thought you said 2-minute olive oil. That was a new one for me in the States. Minute race is fine. 2-minute olive oil sounds shady. It might just, if you're talking about 2-minute olive oil, that might just be Popeye's girlfriend. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. But, yeah, it's... That's Popeye. I'll give you that. There we go. Hey-oh! But, now we know why Brood... There we go. Good point. Very good point. All right, we're back to action here. Oh, they actually have, like, cars going up and down the ramp on the electric board. Nice little TKO there. I don't know how much Claudio's actually used the TKO before, but with a guy like Kingston just literally having no issue lifting him up and throwing him down like that. But I'll throw this in here. Well, let's see if I can do this again. It's going to let me do it again. We already had it here, so. Let me throw this up once again real quick. Oh, never mind. This is getting too good. Never mind. Well, I'll just ask you in chat right now. Which, since we had a few new people pop in here, which match are you looking most forward to tonight? We've already got this one, so let's just take this one out of the equation here. Because this one is actually stealing the show, if you ask me. It's setting the standard pretty damn high right now. So they're getting 2-hour rampage. So wrestling fans get 4 freaking hours on Friday. I wonder what they're trying to kind of program with that 2 hours. I guess they're trying to use as much of the time here as they can, right? Because for people that are asking, Collision is not a Grand Slam show. It's just a regular venue show from what I remember. Look at Claudio's chest, by God. Whatever the top option was on my poll, nice. Mox versus Phoenix 2? Okay. My first match listed was MJF and Samoa Joe. That's going to be a lot of fun, too. Like, here's the thing. We only got 5 matches on this card right now, unless they book something in quick. But it almost feels like everything's going to be good. By the way, did anybody hear what Joe's comments were about what happened for that punch up at Wembley? Or that fight at Wembley? Joe was like, yeah, it's normal. I'm not used to dealing with this crap. I just want to get my match in because, we got 80,000 people out here. Basically doing the equivalent of walking away from any controversy on that whatsoever. Because it's Joe. Like Zodiac put it perfect. Because Joe. So what do you guys think about having Ripicani here instead of Excalibur calling the night right now? I don't know whether this is one matcher for the whole night here. Either way, it's a lot of fun having Ripicani out here. I like the different take. Because Ripicani for me is a bit more of a storyteller, a bit more of a... Like, don't get me wrong, there's absolutely nothing wrong with what Excalibur does. But it almost feels more fluid and more genuine. And the only reason I say fluid and genuine is... Oh, wait. What the hell? What? How did Kingston pull that off? Then he went to go grab his tights. Wow. Go over the Rico Obama again. There it is. That's it. Folks, I am pretty sure, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, is that not the first time that somebody's kicked out of the Ricola Bomb? I'm pretty sure that's the case here. Yeah, wait, first time I can recall that happening. Yeah, it's a great callback. The half and half and a third back fist. Oh my God. This match just instantly picked up in intensity here, and I love it. This is amazing. I will say this, when AEW gets a story put together, and I don't think anybody can deny this, when AEW decides to book a story, the attention to detail in those stories that they pull off in their matches, I think is on par with so many other... It's on par with, if not succeeding to any promotion in the world. What? AEW's dedication to stories is a dual-edged blade. I don't blame you for saying that. That sometimes they cannot figure out what they're supposed to do with that. Zodiac is a big winner on this one. Congratulations. Oh, this is... If you want to fire up a crowd, this is actually probably the... They have problem adjusting, yeah. Like, you get a point. Yum, 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 yum. I should get a Pac-Man... I'm going to have to get a Pac-Man sound put on here, too. But you got to admit, Claudio did the business. And Claudio's going to do the business right now. Because they promised they were going to shake hands at the end of this. There's a handshake. It actually makes sense to get Eddie the Ring of Honor World Championship too. Because it almost feels like he fits down there better than on the main roster right now. One thing about Kingston more than anything else, it's even better that they are Saturnian points. Means they're worth more. You know what? I'm gonna see. I'm gonna wait. I call them payoff points right now. I don't think it really makes sense to turn them into, like, I know what you mean here, but if I could change them into Saturnian points, Does that mean Adam ends up using them more when he's in stream here with us? Just because he's... Oh, God. They got the freaking heart monitor. Taven's got a rosary. Gravity is heavier in Saturn than Earth, so it's more dense points, which carry more value. And all right, well, you notice if you weren't around last week, he's totally faking this. Oh, God. Oh, God. This is hilarious. That's funny. Like, just the fact that it's so... It sounds like that that reclining table is going to be absolutely falling apart. All right. While we got the commercial break here, and we're getting a full commercial break. Once again, everybody, welcome. Good to see everybody here. How is everybody's week? I hope everybody's been having an absolutely spectacular week here. Second best hospital scene in wrestling history? I'm sorry, I'm blowing a whistle on that. It'll be third. If you didn't forget, I still would put Mae Young giving birth to a hand on top of that one, okay? The level of cheesy drama, you know. Had to look up O'Reilly's status. I had no idea he may be out forever. Here's the other thing, and I know a lot of people don't realize this, and a lot of diehard wrestling fans may not realize this as well. O'Reilly just became a family man just as the injury happened, right? So how often do you... There's a position here where a lot of people aren't thinking about this. What if he doesn't want to get back in the ring? Because, he might want to, be a father more than be a wrestler. There are sometimes some situations where you just don't want to... Like, you could put a little bit more effort into getting back in the ring a little sooner. And like Kyle O'Reilly, I don't want to put any slight on his injury's bad. And there may be a possibility he may never come back to the ring. But at the same time, if you'd rather be a father than a wrestler, and you can financially handle that, I'm not going to slight the man if that's the case. I'm not saying that is the exact case in this one, but I'm saying there's a possibility it might not be as bad as what a lot of people think, right? When it comes to injuries. Like, his injury's got to be horrible, but at the same time, if he's set to take care of his family, fantastic, not meaning he has to wrestle, of course. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'm just looking around and I'm like, I'm missing my phone here, which is not normal for me at this point. I might have to go run and grab it here in a sec, because sometimes you want to fix a few things here. Let me throw up the chat. Let me throw up the poll here for the next match. And it's coming back on now. Oh, CLB's talking. That's the most important part of the night here. Let me get 10 minutes on here for you. Okay, so yeah, that's a match on set. Oh no. Yeah. Well, it's true. The Yankees are getting pounded by Toronto, I do believe. That's why I'm going to get my phone right away. Oh, God. And Renee's like, no, get away from me. Chat, I normally don't do this, but I'm going to be back. This is starting to bug me. I bet like 4 or 5 people are trying to get a hold of me. Well, one sec. Stupid memory. Can't remember to grab my own phone. All right, chat. Sorry about that. It's amazing how these days you just, you're so dependent on a piece of equipment, even though For mine isn't really working properly today. I'm not getting any notifications on anything. Now, here's a question for you guys. And I know that we have the predictions going on in the chat, which feel free. We got about 7 minutes and change left. But do you think this might be a going away match for Jericho? I know they said they're going for the tag titles, but at the same time, maybe this just ends it. Because I don't know if I want these two taking on... there we go. I don't know if I want these two getting involved with FTR, really. No way. Ah! Okay, Montezzi. Okay, the guy who does the song, obviously. So this is when Jericho doesn't get his own entrance music, but his opponent does. How often does that happen? When somebody else sings this, gets sung down to the ring, and Jericho just lets the fans do it. The hell t-shirt is he wearing, though? That's the thing I'm wondering. "128 days until we cut the mozzarella on the Jericho cruise." It's Ocho time, man. I love these signs at the... You know, at least most of the signs that come out these days are actually good-hearted ones. Aubrey every Wednesday. I like that. So, question for you, chat. Just as they're bringing up the Fight Forever graphic there, has anybody really gone back to Fight Forever since the original release there? I don't know if you guys have purchased it, but for those that have you actually gone back and played a little bit more, including the Stadium Stampede? I know personally I haven't, just because my lineup has been so packed. I wouldn't mind checking out the Keith Lee pack. I know it's a couple bucks, but that game just... It's good in little spurts, but it didn't feel good to line up the whole time, right? All right, that was funny. That was a little bit funny. So, I'm assuming, based on what we have left tonight, that we're probably going to see Saraya and Toni come up next. Depends how long this one goes. If this one goes to the top of the hour, which very well it could. I got a feeling Phoenix and Mox are going to be the top of hour 2. That's the big thing. Want to see what they do in year 2. I haven't had time, and by the time I do, it'll be time for the next one. From what we've heard, Zodiac, is the fact they're not going to be doing a next one. They're going to be adding on to this and sort of like... until there's like a serious overhaul, like 3 or 4 years away. They're supposed to... Oh, by the way... I think that's probably as close as we're going to get to using that clip tonight. personally, I'd love to see them do a bit of an overhaul in the game right now, and just the biggest thing is they got to get the cross platform together, because if there's no cross platform, it cuts your audience down like a third. Like hell, you can see with MK right now. The player base, I've played MK a few times here. I've actually tried to go online, but the connections are just, there are so many trash connections. And no, it's not me. I'm hardwired, ready to go as much as I can. But the fact that it's not cross-platform hurts it a lot as well. Adam's comment had me wanting, though. I want a robust career mode that makes sense. I guess I want a wrestling RPG. Maybe I should check out Fire Pro. It's funny. A couple weeks ago, they had Fire Pro on for 75% off, so I picked up Fire Pro World. So I wonder if that's going to be something worth checking out. Oh my God, we finally got the picture-in-picture here. Like the career mode, in a way, just it almost it's almost a WrestleQuest type thing when it comes to that. Like, if you're not going to have your games go that long, you got to find something to hook people in. Like, these are quick one and dones. A lot of people aren't going to remember what they're doing, right? And the biggest thing right now in 2023 is what makes your game stand out more than anything else. Haven't played since the first week. It's fine. It just makes me want to play in 6-4. Exactly. Give me a hyper expanded No Mercy. Yeah, like, I got a feeling that the storyline for season 2 is going to be a little bit different than what season 1 was. Because it actually makes sense the way they did it for a season 1 storyline. When you're talking about a new company and the first model of the game, the best story that you can do is how do you make it to that point? Don't get me confused here. I absolutely know that WWE did a hell of a lot better telling that story than what AEW did. But at the same time, they had the right premise, just a very poor execution on it. At least in my opinion, that's what happened there. I would hope in the second one they would change things up and move things around, because they got to be hearing the feedback. Like, even today with their AEW Arcade that they had on there, they had maybe 2 minutes of Fight Forever content there as they were showing off the Hookhausen DLC that's coming up. And then, yeah, we're not even going to talk about it. We're going to Liza P. That's what they ended up playing today on the AEW game stream. So for me, I don't mind that it wasn't the greatest to start off. Don't get me wrong. If I want a good party game for a night and I got a bunch of friends that are on Xbox, I don't mind throwing it in there and let's give it a few shots here and play for an hour or so before we move on to Mario Party or something. Or more likely, Party Animals, which just released today for Game Pass. If you guys haven't played it, the best way to explain Party Animals, picture 4 drunk dads fighting at a Little League baseball game. That's the best quote I've had about that game. So, will we be playing that? Hell yes. I just need to find some people to play that with me. I've been watching a couple streams of that today, and I am very excited to see how that's going to go. Wow! Jericho getting over. And I don't mean winning, just getting over with that Spanish fly. I love how Taz explains about that. Like Randy Marsh versus Bat Dad. Possibly. I would say quite possibly. But do yourself a favor. If you have Xbox and you have Game Pass, look it up. It just got released today. Matt is mid. All right, I wonder who Matt is, but that's okay. Yeah, Party Animals, basically, it looks like Beanie Babies that you're trying to... They control like Beanie Babies, I think is the best way to put, like those... If you're trying to move around a Beanie Baby by remote, it's not the easiest thing to do in the world. Yeah, I was like, why are you saying that desk, Taz? It's this desk. You're here already. Don't. Guevara, don't. No. I see Splat in the future. Well, Jericho tried to catch him. You can see if Guevara's hobbling a little bit here as we're going. Jericho can still get up a little bit. And that was horrible. There we go. Whoops. We've always said with AEW, they always have some moves that are just, what? Little spots here and there. Cody Cutter from the top. Or Oz Cutter, whichever you want to call it. And Jericho does the token shoulder roll. Is he going to try and do GT? Oh, he tried doing, no. That's where we thought it was going. I can't see. Honestly, after that last match, do you really blame him? Zodiac, like, I get it. It's a great crowd. This is a good, decent match. But, Jaron, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We're watching a little AEW Dynamite right now. Hope MK is treating you well. Did a bunch of invasion work this week. I can't believe I'm actually thinking Natara might actually be a main for me. Loving MK1. I love to hear it. It actually makes a little bit of sense for me having a main of Natara after me being a Giovanni main in Guilty Gear, right? But always get the quick people that just all over the screen. Even though nobody... Oh my God. Okay, that was something. Oh, sorry, folks. Beat Invasions yesterday? Yeah, I got another hour and a half into it, 2 hours yesterday, just trying to get up all my cameos. I managed to just get Shujinko's, so... I don't know, with the speed of the game the way it is, might wait until the first few days calm down here. Maybe things level out a little bit more. It's also the advantage of being a variety streamer, right? You never get stuck with, oh my. Guevara telling, get out of the way. Why are you doing... copying all of Jericho's moves, that's what you're going to get. Guevara's trying to move over. It worked. Sammy scooted over pretty good after that. I don't know if you noticed on the zoom, like, it's a nice camera trick they had. They had the camera moving as Jericho was moving, and a lot of people wouldn't have noticed Guevara moving at the same time, trying to get in position, because he was way too far across the far rope, or the near rope in our camera. Oh my goodness, here we go. GTH. And again, Guevara didn't put him in a good spot for that 630, did he? I think Sammy knows that he can't beat it with just a GTH. CM Punk won't let that happen. Jesus! All right, that should do it. Damn. Well, Darthpick, I can say one thing right now. All those Saturn points you gave the Zodiac, well, those just... I didn't think Jericho would win this, to be honest. But I am actually glad that Jericho won it because, well, frankly, Jericho has to win something. Because Jericho hasn't won a singles contest in, well, hell, I don't even think he's won a singles contest all year. Like, since he lost to Claudio in the ROH title, I don't think he's won a singles contest. At least he hasn't won one since he hasn't won one clean. Are we going to get the same handshake as we did in the first match? Come on, give us Shawn Michaels. Somebody kick someone in the balls, please. There it is. There it is. There it is. That is the exact same pose. WrestleMania 19. Eat your heart out. Sammy playing the role of Jericho. Oh my God. Here we go. Sammy playing the role of Jericho. Jericho playing the role of Michaels. And frickin' Don Callis. Here we go. Story has been advanced, folks. Well, I guess if you want to be a heel, the guy that make it. Well, on the positive side, we're not going to get the tag title match anymore. Blood and Guts 2024 Callis family versus yeah, it makes sense if we can get that far. All right. So this is the story from before. Oh my, this is like I'm glad they're keeping the story up on that. They actually kept the stories crossed here, but yeah. So what do you guys think about the Callis family? Let's throw that out there as well here. To me, I feel Don Callis has actually put up a pretty good stable right now. Takeshita, he's got Ospreay as an off member, a possible member, an easy storyline to get into. Now you got Guevara. You tell me Takeshita, Guevara probably wouldn't be a great tag team to go out for tag team gold? I almost feel that Aussie Open might be a package deal to get over to the Callis family. To me, it almost makes sense with the history of New Japan there, right? So, for me, that's the way I feel about having the Callis family. Don's great in the role that he's in. He gets nuclear heat, and it's all legit. There is nothing piped in when it comes to Don Callis. Some of the ways they do their stories are a little convoluted, but that seems to be a common denominator in AEW. Like we were saying earlier, the great storylines that AEW has, they can be a double-edged sword. Like, sometimes moving off of what's going on is sometimes a good thing, and I don't know if Callis could actually do that in some cases. But you can't really argue with what's going on here, right? 5-year anniversary show, the one that helped AEW versus the future of it. Well, that would be 5-year anniversary show. We're looking at next October, actually, not like the anniversary show and Blood and Guts are about 2 months off from each other, but I could totally see where that can go there. I just wonder if they can carry out this storyline that far. If this is to knock Jericho out and keep him out for a few months, I can live with that. And Callis is slowly building this family up to where it needs to be. It's absolutely fantastic the way that it builds and grows right now. So, but that hour just absolutely flew by. I got a feeling we're going to get Moxley and Fenix up next. Think of Double or Nothing? That very well could be. Because they're really going to need to book Double or Nothing strong this year. Because after what happened last year, like last May here, they got to do something or they got to get it out of Vegas. One or the other. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. Looks like we got an argument there. Wasn't the first pay-per-view or show they ever had? Yeah, no, that absolutely. Double or Nothing was the first show that they had. if you're talking about the 5-year anniversary, I was thinking you were talking about the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite because a lot of people are considering that as the big show that went on. But no, Double or Nothing, absolutely, if you're going to do it there. If they could play it up that way, I would love to see it. This is going to be, I don't know about you, but is this going to be a bloodbath? Blood and Guts 2024 at Edmonton. Team Canada, Omega, Jericho, Christian Edge versus the Callis family, aka The Word, Ospreay, Takeshita, Guevara, Perry. That, to me, that sounds interesting, Jagger. Could we have it at Edmonton? Yeah. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. Moxley is the only person with the title now in the BCC. And to be frank, Jaeger, I don't know. I could see them booking a few shows in Canada in the summer, but I don't see them doing another Canadian tour in the summertime. At least as quick as they did, like, next year kind of thing. After the crowd numbers in certain venues, you're looking at Regina, you're looking at Hamilton. When you're struggling to get 1,000 people for a Saturday show, I just don't know if we're going to have... Uh-oh. So if you're going to pose at the top of the ramp, why didn't you just go there and come out the ramp in the first place? Oh, here we go. Well, here comes a street fight right off the bat. And let's face it, a Lucha Libre match, you're pretty much looking at a street fight inside the ring without the weapons. God! Yeah, let's get that button warmed up. You see what happened there? After he hit Mox in the head, he went to go touch the finger to see if he's still awake. This could be a very quick match. Whoa! No, like literally, Moxley's not getting up. I can appreciate it if it's selling like that. The OGs versus Millionaire Club versus New Blood Part 2. I absolutely agree that would be a great idea. Nope. Yeah, I like the concept. I like the ability. I like the thought. I just hope that they can carry it out that much. Like, to me, that gives me a whole set of feels between Bobby Heenan and Hulk Hogan, right? Like, I don't know. Personally, my biggest rivalry in the 80s for me was Bobby Heenan versus Hulk Hogan. During that golden era of wrestling, I don't care if it's Hogan versus Andre, Hogan versus Savage. You can throw it out whichever way you want. Hogan Bundy at WrestleMania 2. To me, that stretch where Bobby Heenan was trying to throw everybody he can at Hulk Hogan to get that title off him, and the fact that they could carry that rivalry, at least pieces of it, all the way to 1996. To me, that was one of the best rivalries involving a manager, and maybe Callis can relive that magic again. I like the new blood in WCW. Give me back above average Mike Sanders and the Natural Born Thrillers. Hey, Sean O'Haire, the victories that he got during that time that he was back in like in that little WWE phase after WCW went down, O'Haire had a lot of momentum, and I think he was planning to go quite places. Like, nobody gets stuck with Roddy Piper as a manager / consultant, whatever you want to call it, as a mentor, and not have a certain je ne sais quoi, right? All right, that sucked. Double bird into the double deed here. What was Mike Awesome? The fat chick thriller was the gimmick for Mike Awesome before that 70s guy. And you see the Mark Jindrak was going to be the yeah, he was going to be originally in Batista's spot until one night in, and Hunter said, this ain't going to work for me, brah. Yeah, we could go back and talk about old WCW and some of the characters that were involved in that and progressed on into the WWF before it became the E. Yeah, you pull them back and see what happens to you. Wow! That's going to take a few teeth out. Somersault cutter, my goodness. Knocks out of position there. Well, you got to admit, this match here was gonna absolutely blow the doors off. Yeah, King Kong Lariat's a polite way of putting that there. I believe decapitation would be another way to put it. Oh, gee. All right, I'm sorry, guys. We're already 10 minutes into the match. I'm still getting used to putting up predictions here, so I missed out on it. My bad. That would have changed history. Batista would never turned on Triple H. Never become champ. It doesn't get... It's all about opportunity, Agger, right? Like, there's a whole bunch of what ifs that show up, right? Instead, we get Jindrak and Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's where I summed that one up. Like, we could talk about a ton of what ifs. What if all the contracts were picked up for WCW by WWE? Might have gone from Deacon Batista to Reverend Batista. Maybe. Started a Holy Roller stable? Maybe. Did you hear about the latest that, like for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Batista was wearing full gear because he didn't feel he could keep up with the training regimen he needed to stay as thin as Drax was originally? I can't read half the stuff Batista says anyway, because he's the first and only celebrity that has blocked me. I don't know what for. I don't know why. I'm sure I did something supporting someone that he didn't like. But yeah, Batista's probably my most famous block that I have right now, so. But yeah, there are so many what ifs. What if Sting ended up being the third man instead of Hulk Hogan? Because that was one of the original plays on that. How are things going tonight? Tonight is going great. Absolutely spectacular here, Mr. Crowder. We had a hell of a match between Claudio and Eddie Kingston, which you need to go back and check out. Absolutely great match. Jericho and Guevara was serviceable. I don't want to say spectacular, but serviceable. But now we have Guevara joining the Callis family. Eddie Kingston is your new ROH World Champion. So it was very well done. A lot of callbacks to the original rivalry. A lot of story beats in that match that turned it into a very good exposition. The crowd was all over it. It was a great time. And now we're just watching Mox and Fenix absolutely blow the doors off. Which makes me feel a little worried about the women coming up, because the women get the match after this. And good luck following this match. I wouldn't care if they were the greatest two women out there, or if it's, the average two women out there. There is a very, very small chance that they're going to be able to keep up with this. If Rick Steiner doesn't bulldog buff Bagwell and hurt his neck, we never get Judy Bagwell on a pole. We might have to do just a separate show on here one night just to talk about the what ifs in wrestling. I've always teased about thinking about doing a what if. You know how we have the what if series for Marvel? If I thought I had enough time to do the editing for all of it and add all the pictures and whatnot, I would love to do some what if stories for like what if booking videos if something would have changed. And it is something I am looking into possibly for 2024. My number one goal when it comes to wrestling right now is still to edit out all the matches I have left on drives. I still got like 5 or 6 drives left to clean up. Once I get all those matches up on the YouTube page that are basically available for everyone forever, then I won't have an issue with it, and then I can move on to some other projects here, but... What if Vince went to jail for the steroids case and Jerry Jarrett had to take over? Because, yeah, if you didn't know, Jeff Jarrett's dad was put in line to be the replacement for the steroid case, so... That is a legit curb stomp. Because he literally got stomped out on the streets. Well, sort of. It's the carpet in between. I love how Phoenix does a handstand to sell that, too. And only 2? Yeah, there's a lot of ideas we could come up with for a what if series and whatnot. Like one of the big ones I would like to do that probably would be the most controversial of the bunch. What if we didn't have the Benoit incident? To me, that would be one of the biggest ones. What if Hogan really did run for president in 2001? Ooh. It's funny because... Jesus! That is borderline insane. Let's just randomly hop up on the top. It's a 3. You fucked up. Oh my God. The hell is this BS? Like, Knox, you idiot. Knox blew the finish. Knox pull a No Way Out 2001. Oh no. I think they called an audible and Knox didn't expect it. Oh no. Mox did get domed more than once. And I think on that pile driver he might have as well, but it was right off the start of the match when you notice right off that first moonsault right at the beginning. He went over to touch Mox's finger there. You see a little finger grab. Just trying to see if he's alive after he screwed up. Is he to it now? Probably. And the one reason I think there is the one reason I think that it's like that right now is because you notice they didn't show the camera on Moxley at all. Like they didn't even want to talk about it. Want to be happy for Phoenix, but I'll make sure Mox is okay. Absolutely. I think they go to full commercial right now. They have to. I would assume they'd, yeah, full commercial. Sort of expected that to happen. We'll have to check on the old X machine here if anybody knows what's going on. But yeah, him Exeter, yeah. I find it weird because for the last I don't know, for the last little bit here, I haven't been getting any notifications on my iPhone whatsoever from it, so who knows what's going on. And I'm used to this thing going off nonstop right up until middle of yesterday. XI is sort for she. Yeah, I knew what you were going with, and I'll give you that. I wasn't going to go there. I'm trying, try and keep one of these podcasts PG once in a while. But yeah, well, we got a second to breathe. Like, all the thoughts to Jon Moxley right now, and I hope that he's okay. Like, nobody wants to see something like that happen. And at least, I hope he's okay, first of all. But after that, at least he could say, you demo nearly had to kill me to take that title off me. So, and here's the other story now. Nobody in the BCC has gold now. Everybody in the BCC lost gold. Claudio's out. So is Mox. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. Like, the BCC are always going to be credible, and I got a feeling Claudio and Yuta are going to be more of Mox is walking, according to Twitter. Well, that don't mean a whole lot. Yeah, he deserves his time off because, Yeah, it means he doesn't. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. But I'd be more worried about a concussion right now more than anything, right? But I do hope that he does get some time off right now. If you, like, do we, like, I hate to say this in the, this could be picked up as a bad context, but do we need Mox around right now? Concussions are bad, but they aren't broken necks. That's, yeah, absolutely. But do we need Mox right now to carry off a story? Yeah, it's a Darth, you make a great point here. Claudio and Ruda goes for the tag goal. Brian runs collision. Okay, so they literally mentioned it during there. There's a rest, not a break. Break sounds bad of all things because yeah. Wonder if he was hurt before they told Rey to hit him again. I think that they decided at the beginning of. I honestly think after that first moonsault that they were changing things up. I just don't think they told the people that matter, aka Rick Knox, about the finish. And that reminds me so much of what happened between Kurt Angle and The Rock at No Way Out 2001. Literally, Angle stayed down for the 3 count. And Hebner wouldn't count it, so Rock had to go up and hit him with another rock bottom to pin him to beat him. It's good to have the righteous on our TVs. All right, let me get this prediction up. I know I missed the big one. Also, while I'm typing this up, what do you guys think of about the change in Tony's character? Because I honestly love how she does a movie role and she just keeps it. And just to clarify, because I do put 10 minutes up on this regardless. Who are the Righteous? Tag team coming out of the original ROH. The reason they used to be the 6-man tag team champions. The names off the top of my head, you know, it's funny because I love the gimmicks. I love the final story that they had with Matt Taven before everything wrapped up with them. The name's just blank on me right now. Let me just quickly fire it up here. Ah, yes, Dutch and Vincent, the two that are left here. Vincent's the one in the funky hair, and Dutch is the one in the suit. Basically, they were a very interesting offshoot of the Bray Wyatt gimmick. With the like the cult leader gimmick. It was a very interesting offshoot. If you get a chance to go back in the ROH videos. Oh, and before I lost my train of thought, I'm going to regain it here and remind everyone. If the match ends before the timer's up, the 8 minutes and 13 seconds, I will call it and put the outcome in at that point. So feel free to throw in whatever you feel like here. Whoa! Tony's turning into a drama queen. I absolutely love this. I'm still wondering why Ruby is over with Saraya on this one. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Ruby as a heel. Like, she's one of the best ones around, but... There we go, Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's right, it's the return of Ron Van Dam. Because the power of friendship compels them to join forces into a greatest entity alive today. I don't know where the heck that came from, but, you know, it's the power of friendship. I almost feel like I should be giving a church sermon right now. The way the hell was that? What she got behind her back? A shoe! Ah, yes, based on the gimmick. Head up, tits out, and watch for the shoe. If you haven't seen that with Renee, that's one of those things that just went absolutely viral. Oh. Hit her with a high heel! I can't believe they didn't use that in the call. Alliteration is a key to a great broadcaster. Hit him with a high heel. Oh my. Now after that happened, I'm pretty sure I know where this is going. Don't play this. Don't play this. Don't play this. Right after what happened. Right after what happened with Moxley. Don't. No, 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 no. Okay, she's getting up relatively quickly. Because that would have been absolutely dumb after what happened last match. Like the multiple DDTs, I could see it happening, but just playing the absolute lack of motion and whatnot. Like, I know that they talked about AEW execs refraining from having to do the convulsing, like the twitching thing that Danielson did. Not what we're doing right now. The actual movement twitching. Yeah. My attempt to dry humor there. I'm sorry. But yeah, like, I really do hope that my own opinion of this one, I really do hope that they end up doing something useful out of this whole thing, because it almost feels like hopefully this is the end of something and moves into something else right now. And I know there have been rumors. I know there's been talking about certain things happening, setting up for next Sunday. I still don't believe it's going to happen. I know they talked about having Mercedes as a possible appearance here for an opponent on the 1st. I still say her debut is at Full Gear. If she's going to come out, she's going to come out in LA because that's where the bright lights are. I'm sorry, bright lights in Seattle, that just, to me, that doesn't sound right. Jesus! They couldn't have waited 10 seconds for the call on that. 10 seconds away from perfection on that one there. All right, folks, just a reminder, we are just over 2 minutes away from having the predictions close. Get your points in, get your bets in. Man, that ref is counting quick. But I do find it interesting that tomorrow night they're actually having an intergender match with the best friends, including Chris Statlander being... Oh, what the heck? Oh, Ruby's going to grab that. Isn't it the rule that if you expose it, you're the one who's going to get hit with it? Oh my. Whoa, what? Now you drop toe holder into the corner. She starts bleeding it, so she ends up like Ric Flair. That was close. I'm going to snooze this ad for 5 minutes just because we're getting close to this finish here. Oh, and here comes the third one. No, baby doll, you're my best friend. I got to hip attack you to finish this off. Ha! That's what happens when you wait. The Greco-Roman lip lock! Storm Zero! Wrestling fans across the world are going insane right now. One of the most dangerous moves in professional wrestling. The Greco-Roman lip lock. The last time that move was applied, Natalya was eliminating the Great Khali from the Royal Rumble. I think. It's probably been done a million times since then, but... Uh-oh. Her butt hurts now. Yeah. Not the cleanest of finishes, but still a decent one. If she misses, will she blade her ass? Maybe. I would have liked to see her pick her up a little higher, but like to see it go a little bit higher, but not. Okay, they're holding out a little bit here. Now they go to the camera that they shouldn't have. All right, nothing happening. All right, no, we're going through the. They're gonna give Joe versus. There it is. That's what I was talking about. 2.0 and Anna Jay versus Hook, Orange, and Chris Statlander. It's interesting that they will go with. AEW has no problem going with these mixed tags like this. And it will be men against women, I do believe. It has been so interesting, this work shoot with Mike Santana as well. The Dark Order getting another title match. Could you imagine Julia Hart actually wearing, like, actually having fingers like that, trying to attack someone? So we're going to have both six-man tag team championships on the line in the same show? That's some interesting booking. If I had to recruit someone in the Dark Order, who would it be? I would have to say it would have to be a real big heavy. Maybe it's just me, but there was a warning light that came on right before that. Sorry, just randomly popped in there. Yeah, there he is again. Like, see, is that just part of the regular graphic? I don't think so. But in terms of who I would recruit for the Dark Order, they got their tag team, they got their heavy hitter. Could there be a way that you could play up the Jack Perry storyline a little bit with that? Like, he'd be the younger, faster one that would go around? If you want to turn Sky Blue heel, that might be a good choice there. Yeah, I got a feeling that international title match went a little long. You were thinking Garcia? See, I don't know if Garcia would... The Garcia mentality of what he is, I don't know if he'd fit well in that with that group. That's the thing with me here. Like, you look at Daniel Garcia, like, he can entertain. He can wrestle. But I don't see him with the... And I know this takes away from a lot of the guys that were... I know it takes away from some of the names I mentioned earlier, but Garcia, to me, just doesn't have the same type of promo skills that you would need for a group like the Dark Order. Not saying that Sky Blue or Jungle Boy have those either, but I think that they can fall in line into a... If you really want to put Evil Uno as the leader of the group, like a real head of the group, I could see Garcia fitting in there a little bit in terms of if everybody's the same and whatnot. I just have bigger ideas than having Garcia as the big main there, right? I would rather see... I'd rather see somebody that's not going to be a breakout star right now get that position. Think you could benefit from those that could do all the promos. Thing is, Garcia, I think, is... I hate to say, but it's more of a... or get off the pot kind of thing when it comes to this situation right now, because I think Garcia's had enough experience around people that can do promos. Like, he's been around Jericho for how long now, right? Like, he's already had that time in that faction to learn about promos. I know you're always learning, you're always trying to get better, but at the same time, I don't know if he's going to go anywhere if you keep throwing him into these factions like this. Eventually, you got to break out and you got to move up if you're going to be on the top of that card. And I have a feeling that Daniel Garcia is one of those players that once you have the Omegas and the Young Bucks and Page and Moxley and Danielson, as they step aside, Garcia is going to be one of those major players that comes up. And as much as we like to say it's going to be a while till they leave, Danielson's already announced that he's doing a reduced schedule. Omega, he had to sit in the entire year and a half out with injury, which, don't get me wrong, he could stick around for a long time, but getting beaten out the way that he has been, is he going to want to? The Young Bucks, that's the X factor. They can wrestle as long as they want. The kind of matches they do, they're still doing silky smooth. So, and then you look at what happened with Mox here tonight. I could totally see them setting up so that Joe and Garcia and MJF and Page right now even, they could step up and be in this main role where they're not going to have to worry about any of these extras right now. So, let me get this one up here for us now. So just a reminder, we are going to we're going to raid out after we're done here. We probably won't be on too much later after the show's done tonight. We'll give our wrap up and then we'll move along here. Next, I hope to be on either late tomorrow morning or early tomorrow afternoon. Ha! They're doing the Bret Hart. The Bret Hart Coke commercial. Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. Please tell me he told him to punch his dad in the dick. Ha! Ha! That's amazing. Wow, that was great. All right, predictions are up for you guys. We got 15 minutes on the clock for you, so lots of time to get them in. So MJF was actually a part of the Mets game on Sunday, and I think he got one of the best pitches of the game out because the Mets suck right now. I believe this applies to
That's
me.
all. We got one goddamn hit.
You can't say goddamn on the air.
Don't worry, nobody's listening anyway.
That sounds like a pretty much normal for a Mets game right now. Biggest payroll in the league and can't do squat. Holy crap, we got 3,400 on MJF already. So if anybody wants to go on Joe here or pick submission instead of pinfall, there is some money to be made here tonight. Well, they're going to give it a solid 15 minutes for this, so I'm actually really, really happy about it. Look at these lights, the way they are. Well, at least, you know, if you're going to bring somebody in who's going to be a heel, that's the way to do it. Oh, this is going to be fun. I love how one little shove AEW can turn into one of the biggest title matches we're going to get here in 2023. Like, I know that there's only been, what, maybe 3 weeks of build-up on this? But let's face it, this is turning into one of the biggest feuds. One of the biggest title matches we're having here in AEW in a very long time. And I think it's just credit to Samoa Joe, straight up. Because let's face it, Samoa Joe, wherever he comes in, he's Mr. Credibility. I appreciate the person who put in 10 points for Joe by submission, by the way. Very smart of you just to hedge your bets here, even if you don't believe it. It's good to chase the money once in a while, right? Yeah, but didn't Cole leave that urgent phone call to go to that meeting that he left real quick for? So MJF's going to get worked over for a good 10 minutes here, and then... Oh, Joe is amazing in so many ways. And once again, I do want to give him full credit for what he said earlier this week about what happened in Wembley. If you guys weren't here earlier, we were talking about what happened. Essentially, Joe was the one that broke up the fight between Jungle Boy and Punk, and basically Punk's little spasm backstage, according to reports. Allegedly. But Joe turned around and said he's pretty much used to that kind of stuff. It's just he didn't care about what was going on. All he cared about was getting the match going because he was first match. I'm surprised he didn't turn that into an STF right there. No, you said Phoenix is a wrestler. That is great, but doesn't need belts. I think Joe is the more of the wrestler. Yeah. You think Joe's more that wrestler? Yeah, well. Yeah, I can see where you're saying that, Zodiac. And here's my thinking on this, and this is where being the unique brand comes in. I'll completely agree with you. Samoa Joe is not a person that needs a title belt to produce the culture of a big match. But AEW needs somebody who is not known as somebody else. Like, let's face it. Samoa Joe, for the most part, as much as they tease up to the Ring of Honor stuff that he did, he is known as Mr. Impact in a way. Like, that's where he got more mainstream notoriety, is when he was in TNA Impact. And that match, 2005 with Samoa Joe and Christopher Daniels, at Unbreakable, that match made him. And yes, whenever he comes out, you know you're going to get a very solid match, a very good match, and you get that aura of a big match feel, which I love seeing in a lot of wrestlers. Now, with Fenix, I feel in a way that whenever he comes out, you know you're going to get entertained somehow. I actually think this win actually hurt him a little bit. And by saying that, I just mean more people are going to be talking about the botch by the referee than they're actually going to be talking about the victory. Like, a lot of people don't realize that. Like, I was recalling that match back in 2001 between The Rock and Kurt Angle. It was a hell of a great match between those two. But a lot of people just remember that BS ending that happened there, where the ref blew the 3 count on the first rock bottom, so he had to hit a second one. So, Fenix, to me, doesn't need a title, but this actually might have hurt his reputation more than anything else. Outside of the Nation of Violence gimmick he had, he's been the same gimmick for 2 decades now. Yeah, pretty much since he got into the business. He's just been that badass that could beat everybody up without even thinking. And I don't know if he's actually... I think the most ludicrous thing that he came out with, he's actually playing up with now. And he did it tonight as well. Comes back to one very simple phrase. Oh, Wendy! Not even WWE could screw up Samoa Joe after that, even though his title match was a double countout. If you guys don't remember, the only matchup that Samoa Joe had, the only one-on-one match that he had for the WWE Championship ended up in a double countout. And I believe that was SummerSlam against AJ Styles. But even during his opening promo tonight, it was, "Oh, Max." Same thing. My God, what a lariat. Joe just feels like everywhere that he goes, like he could end a match at any time if he really wanted to. Like, to me, I don't know if it's actually true. Joe knows his character and plays it perfectly. Absolutely. And this is where I was going with that. Joe, Joe, to me, looks like one of those guys that, realistically, with his character, he looks like a guy that you could take anywhere with you. And if you got into any sort of trouble, he would absolutely murder whoever showed up. Little back rake. I love the fact that they didn't use the typical Samoan stereotype for him. Because a typical Samoan stereotype is if you hit Samoa... Whoa. If Samoa Joe got hit in the head, it wouldn't affect him. The kangaroo kick is connected. Joe legitimately looks like a dude who would murder you. Yeah, like, ever since Meng, he's been... Like, honestly, since Ming Haku, I don't think I've seen anybody that's legit. Outside of maybe Lesnar. Lesnar looks like another guy that would, legit kill you at any moment he wants to. Just a reminder, you got about 2 minutes here to get your predictions in. Lot of points in here. Oh, God. Death Valley Driver on the apron. Yep. Well, that's going to kill him. Max should just play dead weight for the next 10 minutes. We've got about 8 minutes of TV time available left. Joe, for 1 second there, looked concerned. Then his face, oh, we can do more. What are you doing, Joe? Oh, God. Joe, why are you bringing out a table? This is one thing I've never figured out. You're so physically dominant over your opponent. Do you really need a table to beat him? Well, good old-fashioned Uranagi. I love the fact that there was nothing flashy about it. Just straight up. Now, here's the question. Does Adam Cole throw in the towel for him? Because that I could see. Wow. All right. So is Joe going to go for another table just for the hell of it? Oh, no. We're going to take that half-inch padding and, we're going to... I will say this. A lot of people don't realize this. Here, it's plywood underneath because they have... like you can see the plywood there. It's because they actually have cord underneath. So this will be minutely softer. Yeah, it's sport court. It's white sport court. You can see the interlocking panels there. All right, you can see that pile driver was snug, not stiff. Those aren't trainers, those are wrestlers. Well, the three illegitimate ones, you can tell who the wrestlers are and who the actual medical people are, right? And even Joe's like, what the hell? Why don't you put him to sleep, Joe? Come on. We got somebody with 10 points riding on it here. Let's go. After seeing a pile driver almost ended for Mox, they figured, why not? Let's do it on concrete. Yeah, I know. It's hard. I'll say that. Because I'm pretty sure it was probably a planned spot. But at the same time, I get what you're saying here. You know, it's just Joe is gonna Joe. I feel, yeah, I can see that. Sit out powerbomb. Joe throwing out the MJF throwing out the athleticism there. Yeah, I would say that would be your last Hail Mary there. I think this match is everything we expected here tonight. Damn. Just watching that replay there. These guys. Oh, we got to get the Bouye spot in. Let's go. Yeah, that sleeper lasted about 3 seconds, and here comes the other one. Oh, here we go. MJF with a classic MJF move. So I better throw another snooze on here. Uh-oh, he got caught. Ha! MJF gets him in the... Oh my God, can it be? Joe's in shock. I think we're all in... we still got a couple minutes here. He's either going to choke him out or there's going to be a quick pin here in about 30 seconds. There it is. I'm surprised they haven't talked about the fact that Taz has been Max's manager once. Ha! Adam hurt his ankle. Adam blew his ankle, not just his spot. Damn. I gotta go for the bite. That works. Oh, here we go. I don't see this happening. Oh my God, no way. Oh my God. I think Cole did just get hurt. I think he rolled his ankle and he flew down. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my goodness. Tucking that tape away real quick. I would just throw it out. All right, that's a funny way to do it, but I'm sorry all the points disappeared, folks, because, MJF won it on a sleeper. But I got a feeling Cole did roll his ankle up there. MJF standing in the way? What? There is no way. Well, you better show respect, because yeah, you're not going to do it when Cole's standing right there, right? You're not going to pull anything stupid. But I guess if you're going to lose a title, or you're going to change that around, it's a way to do it. Yeah, let's not even kid ourselves. Roddy Strong is perfectly fine right now. They're not fading to black yet? They're 3 minutes over time already. Like, do we get to see Cole's either the best seller or his ankles? But well, I think he rolled his ankle. I don't think he busted it. When he was leaping off the stage onto the floor there on the left as he was coming down. Pretty sure that's what happened. Yeah, you can tell because Cole's not going up on the ropes too, right? He'll be okay. Yeah, just smarts right now. So if you get a chance, I highly recommend checking out Rampage this Friday. I might even find the illegal feed for it. But yeah, they're finally fading to black here. I'm actually impressed. But tonight, AEW had to deliver. Like they put a lot less matches on the card than they normally do here. Like a typical AEW show has, I believe, seven, maybe 8 matches on the card. This one only had 5. And it felt like every match had a lot of time. Jericho and Guevara had a few spots that were just, but told a decent story, and nobody's going to remember the match now that the aftermath. If you guys go back to the aftermath of Jericho Michaels 2019, it played out exactly, even to the facial reaction of Guevara, how he coddled the face and then just threw it away. It looked perfect. And then you got, I sure as hell hope Mox is okay. The fact that Rick Knox just botched that count. I don't know what happened there. But Penta's your new international champion, which, hell, he could take that down. Oh, I guess he can't take it to Mexico yet. He's got to defend it until he gets his citizenship down and gets all those problems taken care of. But I can't wait to see Phoenix on our TV a little bit more consistently here. That's going to make things a lot of fun. Toni Storm and Saraya. Okay. It was good. Don't get me wrong. Like, it was a good story, good telling. Finish, of course, bad camera angle to show how devastating it wasn't. Taz and Excalibur trying to sell the hell out of that finish, and okay. And then this main event, like, basically you had all the story points that you wanted going into it. So ended up being a lot of fun, and it makes you look. Here's the ironic part for guys and girls. Next Wednesday is our go home show for Wrestle Dream. We're finally going to get out of this stretch of so many big shows in one stretch here, because after Wrestle Dream, right now it looks like Full Gear is going to be the next big one. So we might actually survive the whole WWE, AEW, everything all over the place pay-per-view schedule as we're going on. We got No Mercy coming up next Saturday, and then you got Wrestle Dream coming up next Sunday, which just finishes off a fantastic month. Think about it. Everything that's happened in the last 30 days. It's been absolutely spectacular in the world of wrestling. And take out all the drama that we've had with Punk and, people leaving companies and joining other ones. We might have a potential another lawsuit on our hands with Vince, but that's another story for another day. And it makes you really think about how good the wrestling landscape is here in 2023. There are so many levels to how good it is on so many parts, from the AEW, WWE, New Japan, Impact level, to your top indie promotions, to even your local indie promotions. There is a lot of good indie product going on right now. And like a biggest example I can give is one of our local promotions here in Edmonton, Love Pro Wrestling, just announced that they're having an Oil Rumble. Basically, they're running all the intermission spots at the Oil Kings game with wrestling matches. It is similar to a promotion that the Florida Panthers had on when the Oilers went down there. 2019, I think, is the last time it happened. They actually had a wrestling day on St. Patrick's Day for one of the road trips there, and it was absolutely a blast watching all the wrestlers in the concourse and whatnot. So overall, like I said, tonight was a really good show. Really, every match was given a lot of time. The story beats were hit. There were some misses, don't get me wrong, but overall, I think this was absolutely a fantastic show. I don't know what you guys thought. I think for the most part, from what you guys said in here, everything was a pretty decent show, a good showing for everybody. And I think AEW can build off this into turning another great show going forward here. So